Hi, everyone. So, welcome to today's interview. Today, with me, I've got Derek Thaleversen, and he is the Director of HR Support Services. He's been in the HR industry for over 20 years, and he's really passionate about goal attainment, performance management, and people problems. So, welcome, Derek. Uh, can you tell me,
You?
what's the one word that would describe the HR industry?
Evolving, I suppose. The HR industry is a reflection of what of society at large, and since we in the business of dealing with HR or people-related problems, the problems that people experience in society at large, to a large extent, are reflected in the workspace.
Great. Okay. So today we're going to talk a little bit about outsourced HR services and HR services in general. So when a company is thinking about HR, you get lots of small businesses that can't really afford an HR person, 24/7, and they have to really think about should they actually outsource this or deal with a problem that comes up whenever it comes up. So should companies, in your opinion, should companies actually outsource their HR services, and why do you think that's so, if so?
So the short answer is yes, as you mentioned. There are certain organizations that cannot justify the expense of a full-time HR person, most probably because of the size of the organization. So there are various functions related to their people that have to be dealt with in a professional basis. Yeah, human resources is a profession. They are not necessarily, and certainly from my clients, I found they good at making whatever it is they're making or selling whatever it is they sell, but they're not necessarily professional HR people. In fact, most of them aren't. So they need to have that service. And the thing with dealing with human resources, dealing with people, is that you have to do it in the correct manner. And to do it wrong even once has implications for things like morale and culture. And if you do it continuously, which is likely to happen if you have just the owner manager doing these things, is that those bad cultural elements become ingrained within the organization, and it has negative implications for the company as a whole. So yes, certainly they should outsource. And outsourcing itself doesn't necessarily mean um, um, taking on a retainer on a fixed basis for a certain number of hours. We do both. So organizations have the ability to choose between ad hoc services and retainer services. Obviously, the retainer services, mostly the larger clients are opting for that simply because they have us on call. But the ad hoc services are for smaller organizations who don't need to deal with issues on a daily basis or even a weekly basis, and it works in their favor, yes.
Okay. So then what kinds of things do you do? You mentioned like ad hoc services. Can you tell us a little bit more about, what are those things that you get called on to do?
Well, a lot of the problems are people related. Sometimes, or very often, they related to discipline. But the thing is that the people that are involved with HR services have gained a large degree of their experience in or rather larger organizations, multinationals, in fact. And the benefit of them being there was that they were privy to world-class policies and procedures and people practices. And now what we are able to do is provide a partnership service to our clients, whereby we not only able to advise on things like discipline and training, but also in much broader terms, the implications on people of various practices that they may hold and how they can improve. So we're a business improvement service primarily. We're not the personnel department. We are the HR department. And what we do is, simply put, try to leverage people so that they contribute to the well-being of the organization. We don't just fire people. Basically, that would be the crude part of it. It's much more broader than that.
Okay. Okay. So then let me ask you this, because we talked about HR services on from end to end, right? And so you
Mhm.
deal a lot with people problems, and you're passionate about productivity. So when it comes to people being, happy in the workplace, that's fundamentally what I'm interested in and what my business is all about. Do you think that people that
Mhm.
are happy or content in their jobs, in their environments, are they more productive? And why do you think that's so?
So yes, without a doubt. I don't think it's within the realm of organizations to create extremely happy people all of the time. I mean, we don't find that in our lives. I think a practical solution is to create a degree of well-being. So what that would translate into in practical terms is the elimination of um, certain bad practices. These are very easy to do, by the way. So certain bad practices, like the way people are spoken to, the way they speak to each other, certain work practices within the environment. If you remove those little obstacles that they could have, go a great way towards creating that sense of well-being. And so, how does that translate into performance? Well, certainly somebody that isn't completely preoccupied I suppose, with the bad points of their organization, their surroundings, can devote those energies and time towards actually doing what they're supposed to be doing or what they are expected to be doing. And also, one cannot discount the potential for people to even be destructive where they are not contented or happy. So there's various virtues to having a happy and contented workplace.
Yeah. So energy goes where your emotions are, and
Yes,
if you are happier or content in your workspace and your work environment, then that's where you're going to be placing your energy and your productivity.
yes,
So yes,
yes.
thank you for that. And lastly, I'd like to know, so what makes HRSS so unique and so different? So, why should people come to you?
Well, because of the wealth of experience that we've had, and it's not just myself, but also the consultants that work with HRSS have cut their teeth in much larger organizations where they've been where they've done very well in their field. So that's part of our process as HRSS, is to weed out and source people that have not just had experiences with a broad array of subjects within the HR field, but also those that have actually excelled in that. And I think we've lined up um, uh, good consultants within the organization. And it's for that reason that what we are able to do is provide a service that has been growing organically over the course of the last few years. So we've had many, many referrals from current clients. That's how we've grown up until now without advertising at all. And people are very, very well attuned, especially business managers, to good service. And competence, of course. And that is what we've been able to offer to our clients time and time again. And it's the secret of our success.
Excellent. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I hope it continues to grow organically, and that you help create, more content workforces, whether it's the people leading the workforce or the employees themselves. So best of luck from me, and yeah, I wish you well.
Thank you.